Maybe this will sound a bit controversial, maybe even blasphemous, but just like the title, I think the Halo devs listened to the wrong player base. Now, I'm not Gen Z. I was 10, 13 years old when Halo dropped, and I was a teen by the time they finished Reach. Bungie finished Reach. Let me present the argument this way. When Bungie made Destiny, guess what? It had ADSing, sliding, mantling. All of these are hallmarks of a modern shooter. Let's be real. I feel as though if they're going to carry on with the Halo franchise, they would have done the same and made Halo handle like a modern shooter with its own unique flair. Instead, for a lot of younger gamers, playing Halo Infinite feels like you're stepping into a time machine that you don't even recognize because you weren't playing games from that era. They press the right mouse click, and instead of ADS, they get some weird zoomed in hip fire angle. They're left thinking like, what the fuck? Remember, these kids are from the COD generation, and there are certain things that they need to feel/see in their games to get through that initial barrier of entry to the gameplay. Now, as much of a millennial that I am, these players, these younger Gen Z players, need to be accounted for, as they are the future. Not they might be, they are the future. Much like tab targeting in MMOs is a pure blood thing, like a lot of pure blood swear by it, it's becoming more and more obvious that an action combat system is more desired for the newer and younger players. For me, Halo feels like a convertible. Sexy, abstract, cool to see in motion, maybe flex from time to time. But that being said, for day-to-day riding and use, it's not practical because it doesn't have the kit of a modern vehicle. And that's okay. The issue arises when it tries to step into these modern shooters like it can hang and falls short, falls flat. Looking back at the lead up towards the release of Halo Infinite, there were like a lot of content creators that were legit saying that Halo does not need a sprint, does not need a mantling system, to mantle up walls. Like if you miss a ledge, you can grab on and hop on. Let that sink in. Imagine if the devs listened to these hardcore Halo players, these vets. Halo Infinite would have been dead even faster because the game would have just felt completely alien to a younger player base that the game needs to survive. As much as I hate to admit it, millennial gamers that are now like in their late 30s, early 30s, heading forward, we're not the desired market. We're not the primary market for these games. In order for these games to go further and beyond, they need to appeal to the younger player base because those guys are then going to carry the franchise forward. I'm glad they didn't completely listen to these guys and decided to do a few things differently. My thinking is that they didn't do enough differently. To round things off, I think the Halo devs need a new dev team, and 343 can do what Guerrilla did after being set free from the Killzone franchise. Maybe they just fuck around. Maybe they just piss about, throw a little bit of this over there, throw a little bit of that over there, fuck around and make a IP like Horizon Zero Dawn. That would be fucking crazy. And talk about a redemption arc. Imagine 343 creating a new IP on the same scope as Horizon Zero Dawn, because that's what Guerrilla Games did. They were put to the whip and they were said, you guys are just gonna make Killzone games forever. That's all you're gonna do. After a few botched releases, the games weren't up to scratch, the games didn't hang. Sony were like, alright, I don't know what to do with you guys, just make a game for us, make an exclusive game for our console. And they just fucked around and they made Horizon Zero Dawn. So maybe the same thing needs to happen with 343. They need a fresh start, let them make the game they want to make with no pressure, and you might get something special out of it. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sound off in the comments. Trust me, I read them all. Don't forget to like and sub to the channel if we're on the same wavelength. Joe Star out.